If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5. Just forget your daily bread, just to make it survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, mo, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, mo, ta open it. There are funny things about life. Your huggy should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this stuff I must survive. There are funny things about life. Your huggy should be sharper than knife. Believe in yourself and nature will provide. Cause once I go this stuff I must survive. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5. Just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5. Just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, mo, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, mo, ta open it. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Life, yeah. Life not easy at all, oh, yeah. Mama dey vex, Papa no dey put up money. Respect my hustle. Hey, my hustle. I go respect your hustle. My hustle. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5. Just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Life, yeah, life, yeah. If you want success, it's not easy, yeah. You get for work from 7 to 5. Just forget your daily bread, just to make you survive. Ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, mo, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, ta open it, mo, ta open it.
Last year people let me try for down me. Yeah. Last year people let me try for wish me. Yeah. Last year people let me cry me nigga. They say all the song where I drop no play for me. Yeah, yeah. Get me name to Babalao and take me name to Morimano. For make them well me way Giovanna make them go so amen. I keep a humble, I don't need to know. Amen. I count money, see them play photo. Amen. And I pop champagne, see them play photo. Amen. I drive me past, see them play waka. Amen. I know go suffer this shit. Amen. Amen. That's the baby where I like. Left me and go, oh yeah. Say all the pain and the suffering, and all me nothing. Say the baby where I let you don't go. What you now do, I know. Fire, fire, walk daily, tire, tire. Yeah, yeah. For me daily, fire, fire, walk daily, tire, tire. For me daily, fire, fire, I walk daily, tire, tire. Right now, I keep a humble, I don't need to know. Amen. I count money, see them play photo. Amen. And I pop champagne, see them play photo. Amen. I drive me past, see them play waka. Amen. Amen. I know go suffer this shit. Amen. Amen. Back to sender, back to sender. All the witch tight, back to sender. Back to send, yeah, back back to sender. Back to sender. You know wish me for married. Back to sender. Back to sender. You know I make me back it. Back to sender. Back to sender. Easy baby say amen. And they count money, see them they photo. Amen. And they pop champagne, see them they go. Amen. And they drive me car, see them they walk out. Amen. I know go suffer this year.
If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car ain't one. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
All the baby where them woke me at, where don't make me feel like say I'm not man enough, I no get nothing for offer. So all me party when look down on me, where don't make me feel like say my life no go become something, and they walked away. All the people will promise for help me, they say come office today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. The story not just the same, but I refuse to give up. I kept on hoping, I kept believing. Now everything don't change.
Scamadol, not to food for it. Alcohol, not to juice. Diazepam, now for sleep. Jamba no fit you, no smoker.
Exclusive from Enzo Entertainment.
I said I want a kind of black man. I said I came so na shop man. Master planner black man. I said a role model black man. The man behind me success. So well if you see me at the project.
Man if you poor woman meet up then go fire. Enzo Entertainment. Man if you poor and poor meet up then go burn poor. Money me na mazwa. Money is
Exclusive from Enzo Entertainment.
Say I done school, I know when they get you lunch.
So Nikki, you're a winner.
Yeah, I've won 3 times now.
Wow, is that all through Lifestyle Bids, right?
That's right. So first I won the Music Awards, which was in London. Then I won the boxing match, which was in Cardiff. All I had to do was bid 83 pence for that. And then the music festival, which was in California.
And the private jet?
Yeah, made me 3 mates on that too.
So I think it's definitely safe to say that Lifestyle Bids works for you.
Oh yeah, Lifestyle Bids definitely works for me.
So don't just dream it, bid it. Go to lifestylebids.com and let the adventure begin.
Welcome to Lifestyle Bids, a luxury reverse auctions website where luxury is bought at a price you decide. Sign up free via your Facebook account or email. You receive 50 free bids as sign-up bonus. How do these bids work? Log in to Lifestyle Bids and choose your auction room from sports to fashion to luxury cars. Pay an entry fee to start bidding in an auction room. You receive 10 free bids per day for the duration of the auctions. 7 days equals 70 bids. When the auction ends, the lowest unique bidder wins. What is lowest unique? Each bid you place will instantly be unique. Not unique or lowest unique. The lowest unique is a bid which is lowest and a number that no one else has bid on. If your bid is lowest unique and someone else bids on the same number, it becomes not unique. Bid daily to improve your chances of becoming the lowest unique bidder. At the end of the auctions, the bidder with the lowest unique bid wins the lot. Winners are notified by email.
If you having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Health Show by Isatta Sisay-Jalloh as usual. Sorry for the late start. Say we na bra spider we one day all side at the same time. So it's a little bit tricky, and of course, as you all know, we have our day jobs as well. So please be patient with us. So today we're going to talk about health and well-being in general. I know most of what I talk about here is health and well-being anyway, but today I want us to focus on certain aspects of health and well-being. But also, because this is the month of October, which we all know is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we did a very good show last week and role play. I've been talking about breast cancer awareness, what you look for, how you check yourself, screening, self-screening, going to your GP and reporting any changes in your breast, including both men and women. And also we've celebrated the Black History Month. The whole of October is the Black History Month, where we celebrate our race and highlight the significant and important role we've played in the community as a whole. And one of the things I did for this month, this October, which is also noted as Stoptober, where you try to stop a habit that you've developed, whether it's a food habit, a drink habit, or a smoking habit, or alcohol habit. Stop something, just like what the Christians who acknowledge Lent season do. They give up something of sort to just mark the Lent and show some sort of sacrifice. So we chose red meat. I did a no red meat campaign, and it started from the 1st of October to the 31st of October, which is today. Yay! But if you've managed to do it and done the whole 31 days with no issues, no trips, no falls, congratulations to you. Well done. Because I think, including myself, I did have 1 or 2 hiccups. But like I have been saying to people where I bump into them at parties or events and they're caught red-handed having red meat, they say to me, oh, I said, well, it's little steps, baby steps. You can try, if you can go without red meat, if you're someone who used to eat red meat at least 5 days a week, and now you can go without it, you've gone without it this month for at least 5 days a week, then I think you've been very successful. You've done something very good. But of course, there are lots of people who have really been devoted and have religiously done what they should and what they can, and actually has inspired a lot of people, including myself, giving lots of ideas as to what's going on. We've got a caller already, and hello, good evening, caller.
Good evening, Sia Shaka online.
Okay, Sia Shaka, good evening, how are you?
Not bad at all.
Good. How can I help? What's your question or your comments?
Oh, I just want to participate by listening.
Oh, okay, you want to listen?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you based?
UK, London, Mitcham.
Okay, but you're not on Facebook?
I can go there.
Yeah, you can go on Facebook. I'll let's send the link. What are you called on Facebook?
Oh, good question. I keep forgetting my password for Facebook.
Okay, so we'll send the link to your phone. So if you go off, we'll send the link to your phone, the number you've just called us with.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
And if later you have any contributions to make or you have any questions, then please don't hesitate to call. Okay?
Okay, Isatta. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thanks for all the help information I received from you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you too.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll send the link now.
All right.
Thanks. God bless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, this is what makes my day. This is what makes me, it doesn't matter how tired and exhausted. Believe it or not, I am struggling with some serious toothache right now. And they can't do anything. Well, not that they can't do anything to it. I'm on antibiotics and I've got an appointment again on Monday, this Monday coming, to see what then they will go and re-x-ray and see what they can do. I might need some serious surgery. So it's really not great. So again, that leads us all to what we're going to talk about today, about health and well-being, our diet and the contents of our diet, because to be honest with you, I was very sweet tooth and it's caused a lot of damage to my teeth, especially the molars and all of that, and they're pretty bad. So it's going to cost me a lot of money because I'm not entitled to NHS, and not many people are entitled to NHS dentistry anyway. So like I was saying, a lot of people have done very, very well. Later, I'll read what the comments people have shared, or their experience, their journey for the last 31 days as to not eating no red meat. Because for me, what it actually did, I just didn't stop eating no red meat, but because of not eating red meat, I then ended up avoiding some of the food that came with red meat, which then meant I replaced it with something else that was a lot more healthier. And to say the least, I have really gained some benefits from it. And so it's about sharing. Nobody is perfect. Let's just keep trying, because I think it's very important. And like I always say, your health is your wealth. We have to do what we have to do to stay fit and well. So today we'll talk about health and well-being. And when we say health and well-being, what do we mean by that? We mean a complete emotional and physical well-being, and which encompasses your physical being, your mental state, and your social well-being. All those three things is what's incorporated in health and well-being. And it doesn't just refer to the absence of disease, because most people think, if I'm not sick, that means I'm well. It doesn't. But it's also the ability for you to recover and bounce back from ill health or illness or other problems. Like if you're having a bad day, how do you quickly recover from that? If you have a flu, how quickly do you recover from that? Or just even simple illnesses like cold and flu and all of that, or let's say diarrhea, how physically well your body is to recover and bounce back from some of these illnesses. Because the reason why it's very important to have that in your thoughts, when we talk about an illness such as cancer and how aggressive and cytotoxic the treatment can be, a lot of people will say, I will not take treatment because that treatment is very potent and it kills people. Yes, but maybe is it because you were not fit and well in the first place? That is why your body cannot tolerate the treatment very well. And so on top of the disease, if your body is not in a fit and well state to tolerate some of these treatments, it's not as effective, or you cannot cope with it. The same with surgery. You would hear sometimes before people go for surgery, they'll say, oh, we need to pre-build you first before we take you to the theater. Again, you have to be of some certain level of performance status, we call it in medical terms, in the WHO, World Health Organization. Your performance status means a lot of things. And again, that's all to do with your health and well-being. And it's quite a done deal that if you're someone who is fit and well, you recover from surgery quicker than someone who is not. I think that is a said thing. Have we got the lady on? Do you know if the lady is on? If we send the link and see. Hello, Auntie. If you're on, please confirm. Just say hello if you're on. Just so we know you're not losing this vital information. I'm just checking. Hello, Mr. Weber. Hello, Fatmata Binta Samura from Freetown. Memuna Rugi, Zainab, IB. Welcome, everybody. So yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Is well-being, health and well-being. So well-being itself is the experience of health, happiness, and prosperity, and it includes having a good mental health, your head being good, a high life satisfaction, and a sense of meaning or purpose. By that we mean when you wake up in the morning, you have a plan, you have a goal, and all of that. That's what we mean. And it's just that general feeling of feeling well. That's what well-being really means. And so later I'm going to drop some questions, which is just a quick quiz for you to either note down, and then later on today or tomorrow I'll note those questions down on my page and Diaspora Voices as well, for you to think about those questions and assess yourself, whether you actually are in a fit and healthy well-being state. Because I think it's very important. They're very simple questions, and it's actually when you then start to think about it, you think, actually, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? So it's very important. So physical health, we're going to move on to physical health first, and then we'll come back to well-being. So physical health is a condition of your body, taking into consideration everything from the absence of disease into fitness level. I know you've been seeing myself supporting Countdown, which is made up of our brothers DJ Little and DJ Ish. They've been promoting physical fitness by doing lots of runs in Borges Park, but also like DJ Ish doing lots of marathons, pack runs, 5Ks, 10Ks, you name it. And I think next year he's going to go for the full London Marathon. So he's doing that training. He's actually inspired DJ Little, who was not doing anything, no exercise of such. And now he's become addicted. And I'm hoping and praying I will also be soon addicted. Because I think it's one of those things, once you start, you then can't stop. So I'm hoping for that. But it's amazing, and it's just about encouraging people to be fit. And you don't have to be running 5K or 2K or 3K. There's so many different things you can do to keep yourself fit, and we'll go through some of those things. So it's very, very important. They did the 5K run, the community 5K run, which we were all involved in. And now they've actually started something that is regular, which came out of the community 5K run, where people say, how about we do something a bit more regular? So we decided it's going to be the first Saturday of every month. So this Saturday, the 1st of November, the 2nd of November, sorry, tomorrow is the 1st and it's Friday. So this Saturday, which is the 2nd of November, we will start that community fitness club, which will start at 10 o'clock at Borges Park at the Sports Center. Just 1 hour from 10 to 11. Try and come at least 15 minutes before time. If you do have it, get yourself a yoga mat, or if you want to buy one, they're very cheap at Sports Direct, just off Oak Kent Road, where next to the Argos, where the Argos is, and the DFS and all of that. You can go and get one there. And the reason for that is because we've got our fitness instructor, Vambak Kone, who is gonna come and do some stretching with us. Apparently, before you do such exercises, it's always good to stretch your muscles, especially if you haven't done it for a while. So they're gonna come and do that for 15 minutes, and then we will start the running or the walking at 10 o'clock. Hear me say the running or the walking, because I myself, I'm not gonna be running. I haven't run for a very long time, and I'm asthmatic, and I've had really bad asthma experience this year. So the last thing I'm gonna do is go and attempt running when I've done no exercise for God knows how long. So I'm gonna start off by walking and then build up myself. I'll make sure I have my inhalers, and I'll make sure I take them before, and then I'll have my water, and then we'll walk. I'm sure there's quite a number of us who would walk, and we'll just do brisk walking. We chat, we keep ourselves updated about what's happening in our community, what's happened Friday night, etc., etc., and what's gonna happen Saturday, and so on and so forth. So it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be casual. You can bring the kids, they can be part of it as well, and just move them away from that computer if we can, hopefully to keep them fit as well. So that's what's going to happen on Saturday, and that would happen every first Saturday of the month. So I can't remember what the first Saturday of December is, but it will happen again in December and hopefully January, and so on and so forth. And then once a year, or more than once a year, we'll do the one that we did this year, which was a community fun run. So please join us on Friday. It's very important. So like I said, physical health is the critical for overall well-being. If your physical health is in top notch, then your well-being to some extent is totally affected and benefits from that. And your physical health can also be affected by your lifestyle, which are some of the things we're going to focus on today. And that lifestyle includes issues such as your diet, your level of physical activity, which I've just been talking about, and your behavior. Your behavior in the sense, what are some of the things that you do that might not be right? Simple example is smoking, drinking excessive alcohol, not sleeping properly, not having a good work-balanced life. So those are some of the things that we have to look at when we say lifestyle. So it's very, very important. And there's this saying that goes, there's a quote that goes, that says, the experience of health, happiness, and prosperity. Yes, it is very important. The experience of health, happiness, and prosperity. And also, it's about your health is your wealth. We always have to remember that. And there's this quote that I like when I was doing my research. Like I always say to you guys, what we're talking about here, I'm not a physiotherapist. I'm not a fitness expert. I'm not a dietitian, neither a nutritionist. But I think I'm very well learned and experienced, and do read a lot. So I think I'm quite in a fit state of mind to come and share my own little ideas and information I've researched to prompt you and put you in that frame of mind where you can then go and seek more knowledge or seek help. So when it comes to our diet, there's this saying that says, you cannot control everything in life. However, you can control what you put in your body. So your diet and total lifestyle, you can control what you put in your body. So it's very, very important we think about it that way. Hello, Krem. How are you? Lovely to see you on. That's Krem from Thinking Pink. Foundation is on. My newly found sister. I love you, darling. So those are kind of the things we're thinking about. So why is eating healthy good? Why is it good to have a good healthy diet? What is it about this healthy diet that people go on about? Oh, you have to eat well, you have to fit. Of course, I've just told you, it's about remaining healthy and fit in various aspects of your life. When you eat healthy, especially when you look at things like meat and all of that, it obviously helps with weight loss. Eating more of fruit and veg, which is low in calories, does help with weight loss. It reduces your risk of illnesses such as cancer. It reduces your risk of illnesses such as heart disease and stroke prevention. It reduces your risk of diabetes and managing it as well, because as we know, there are two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. Type 2, if you really do it well, you can actually manage it by diet. I was actually at borderline when they did my HbA1c a few years ago, and I was borderline, and all I had to do was look at what I was eating and change my eating habit. That's all I had to do. And the next time my GP saw me and did the test again, that was a year later, she was like, what did you do? I said, nothing. She said, did you go to the gym? I said, no. What did you do? I said, well, I just changed my diet. And she was so proud of me, and I think I was so proud of myself as well, because I think we take these things for granted. And it also helps to strengthen our bones and our teeth, and it puts us in a better mood, and also it improves our memory. And sometimes people might think, oh, how does it improve your memory? Well, if you eat well and the right food, you probably sleep better, which means you've rested well, which means when you wake up in the morning, you're a bit more refreshed and relaxed. Your circulation is working effectively, and so you can think properly. And so cognitively, it improves your cognitive level. It also improves your gut health. Now, you could do a whole topic on gut health. Now, the reason why it improves your gut health, when you eat certain food and certain diet, especially ones that helps the gut to produce and maintain the right type of bacteria flora, because a lot of the bacteria we have in our gut are good bacteria, and they produce vitamins such as vitamin B and vitamin K, which is good for the colon, which is our gut. And so if you eat the right food, then you can be ensured that that balance will be there, and then you can avoid issues with inflammation and swelling, such as things like diverticulitis and IBS and all other issues, even constipation and all of that. So, and for people who have illnesses like Crohn's disease and colitis and all of that, it can actually help them manage it. So it's very, very important to think about that. And it's also important for you to think about your gut, what kind of diet you put there. It's very important you have a right amount of fiber in your diet, because a diet low in fiber and high in sugar and fat will alter your gut. And again, that will increase some of these issues that people have with their gut, such as these inflammation. And like I said, last but not the least, a good healthy eating as well can give you a good night's sleep. And if you reduce consumption of alcohol and caffeine, which we all struggle with because we're so tired and we want to drink coffee so that we can get a buzz, but then it becomes a cycle, isn't it? You drink it to keep you awake, but then you're actually so tired, and then when you want to go to bed and sleep, bing, you're awake, you can't sleep. That's what happens. Like this morning, I was up 3 o'clock this morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. For no good reason, I could not go back to sleep. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to call in. The lines are open. You can call us on 07946 141 369, or you can make a comment. I was expecting a sister to join us, but I think she's probably tied up or busy. She's one of the healthy eating gurus, but I haven't heard from her. But hopefully, if she can, she will join us. But it's very, very important. Let's think about these sort of things. And I know sometimes people think, oh, how do I manage to know what is good or what is not good? Or the other thing you hear a lot about as well is something they call saturated and unsaturated fat, which is related to the level of blood cholesterol in our body. And people are confused sometimes. Oh, how would I sort out this cholesterol level? You go to your GP, they say you have cholesterol, and most times nowadays they put you on these statins like simvastatin, etc. And as we know, all medications, one way or another, have their side effects. So really, the message is see what you can do to try and avoid a lot of these medications. So with your cholesterol level, if it's borderline or it's a bit high, actually just changing your diet can help you to reduce your cholesterol level. So when we talk about saturated fat. So saturated fat is basically two kinds of smaller molecules. So basically, if you think of crisscross, so these two molecules in our body are twisted like this, like two S's twisted together. And so because of that, they're stronger. Obviously, if it's one, it's easy to break it down, which is unsaturated fat. And when it's two, it's saturated, so it's stronger and it's not easy to break it down. And they come in a solid form at room temperature, whilst your unsaturated fat is mostly liquid at room temperature. And the saturated fat, the reason why it's important to pay attention to it in diet is because it drives up your total cholesterol level, whilst your unsaturated fat reduces the risk of high blood cholesterol level. So I know people might be thinking, what sort of food are saturated and unsaturated? Now, saturated fat we do need some of, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying do not eat no saturated fat. Eat some, but you have to have a certain level. You shouldn't have it in excess. So your saturated fats are things like cheese, your whipped cream, your ice cream, your butter, your margarine, your palm oil, with palmina salon, with cow butter, they call cow ghee, your coconut oil, the cakes, the biscuits, the sweets, the fatty meats. So the beef itself, the red meat, but the sour can get fat, So it's very important, if you're going to eat red meat, really try and eat lean red meat, which basically means it has no fat. And your sausages and your bacon and of course your chocolate and all of those kind of things, they are saturated fatty food. And when you're eating them and eating them in moderation, it's good to think about how you prepare them. How you prepare them in the sense, rather than deep frying them, it's best to grill them and to bake them. So when you do that, you're using less of the saturated fat and you're getting rid of the unnecessary stuff. And then in terms of your unsaturated fat, you're looking at things like your olive oil, your peanuts, your canola oil, your avocados, your pumpkin seeds, your sesame seeds. Sesame seeds, for those of you who don't know, is what we call beni in Sierra Leone. So even that beni that we grind and we turn into powder that we eat with dried rice or cassava, that is sesame seed. Again, that is really good. In my culture, in Madingo, we call it lafidi. When we're eating our lafidi, wikenda comes from seeds. The beni comes from seeds. So our people, so a lot of this for our Sierra Leonean African people, they don't have to, it's not that they have to go buy some of these things. Actually, they have access to organic food better than us in the diaspora. Our organic food that we get is 3-4 days old. The organic food that grandma has in Sierra Leone is the garden behind the house, where the same day they harvest it, the same day they prepare it, and you eat it. And so it's proper organic food. So we have all these foods in Sierra Leone or other African countries. And actually, there was a research, apparently, a conference I went to last week, Saturday. There was a nutritionist there that said there's a research that says, for example, in developing countries, because of the luxury of not having meat, we tend to eat more vegetables. And so there's a lot of things like, especially with gut health and gut issues, we have less problems in that arena because of the type of diet we eat. I think for us in Sierra Leone, one of the key issues and problems we have is our rice and our palm oil. And then, of course, everything when we do it really in excess. So it's very important for us to think about that. And so to move on with our unsaturated food, you look at your sunflower seeds or sunflower oil and walnuts and fish. So, but again, these non-processed things, because you need things that are really natural and pure and back home we say from God to man. That kind of thing is what you need. So it's very important to bear that in mind and think about that and see what you can and cannot do regarding your health and what you eat. So like I said earlier on, this month we had the no meat diet, and I just wanted to go into some of the messages I got from people today. And I'm not going to name any names, but a lot of people sent me messages and told me what they've experienced and how good it's been and the benefit they've had. I've got a sister who, all the way from America, when I posted, she said to me, I've already been doing this for a very long time. I haven't eaten red meat for the last 2 years, she said. She said to me, I feel lighter and less bloated. My bowels are a bit regular, and she used to go like once every 5 days. So now she's going every other day. So she's working more on it. She doesn't have headaches anymore. She used to have headaches. And what else did someone say to me? They said, someone else said, let me just go to that person. Someone else said, I started with a weight of 77 kilograms, but today, the 31st, I weighed myself this morning. I am 75.3. Yay to that person. So you see, not just having red meat, they've actually had, to some extent, diet. And so they've lost about 1.7 kg in 1 month. And for them, their benefits that they highlighted, their bowels, again, that's coming up. Constipation has always been for me. Since this challenge, I had regular daily motion. I did my extra by drinking just water and walk 4 bus stop length daily. Thank you so much. Meat has been removed from my diet. Most health problems, if not hereditary, comes from our diet and lifestyle. So you see, lots of positives, lots of positives, lots of positives, lots of positives. And for me personally, like I said, it's been quite a lot of positives, because again, for me, constipation is an issue. And the fact that I've not had to eat red meat means I've also tried to avoid carbohydrates. And so I'm replacing that with, vegetables. So I'm replacing that with vegetables. So it's been really, really good. So I'm really, really happy. And I hope there are people out there who it's made a difference to them as well. So some of the balanced diet, again, people hear about balanced diet. So we've spoken about cholesterol and saturated and unsaturated fat and what you can do to help yourself if you've got cholesterol issues. And so people hear a lot about balanced diet. You should eat a balanced diet. There's lots of health awareness and promotion about balanced diet. And so what is this balanced diet? Basically having a level of different types of food which are enriched in different types of proteins and vitamins and all sorts to give you that balanced diet. So it means you eat at least 5 portions of fruits and vegetables. Different fruits and vegetables, eat at least 5 portions of it. Base your meals on things like potatoes, bread, rice, pasta. They're carbohydrates, however, it's how you deal with them. They're saying make them whole grain. For example, rice. Rather than having white rice, eat brown rice. Rather than having rice, you can eat bulgur wheat. The other thing that somebody again mentioned yesterday that I'm gonna try in the next few days, it's something called, I think, is it buckwheat? Let me go to it again. Yeah, it's called buckwheat. Apparently it's called BUCK wheat. You can find it in Turkish and Polish shops. She said you can cook it in your rice cooker just like you cook rice, and she said it's very tasty compared to bulgur wheat. So she's changed that, and she said that's what she's gonna do. And again, it's one of those things you can make it as a cold salad, not just for hot meals. But and things like bread, because I love bread, but I've got a colleague at work who likes all these seeded breads and brown breads. It was really painful for me to start chewing those brown breads. But with time, I've actually been able to adapt to it, and now I enjoy brown bread, and it's amazing. And seeded ones, they're really good. You can get them anywhere. Every supermarkets have them these days under their whole meal section, and sometimes even under their gluten-free sections, they will have it there. And the same for pasta as well. If you're someone or the kids like pasta, you can start off like what King's Meal does with the bread. Rather than just going complete brown, to wean yourself off the bleached food, you could actually start by 50-50. Like King's Meal did with the whole meal, with the bread. So there's a bread that is 50-50, 50 brown, 50 white. So you could do the same with pasta, for example. You can mix it with brown and the regular pasta, and the same with rice as well. And then onto your body and your taste buds, basically. It's your taste buds that need to get used to it. Use some dairy products as well. Or if you're someone who is sensitive to dairy products, use alternatives. I don't know, because of my work environment where mostly we have the skim or semi-skim milk. But for some reason, I've just realized in the past few months that when I now drink full fat milk, the blue top, which is what I buy for the kids because they're growing, when I drink that now, I get really, really bloated. Initially, I didn't realize it, but it always happens in the evenings, because in the evenings is when I have a cup of hot drink at home. So I notice I'll wake up feeling a bit bloated. But during the day when I'm at work and I have my green or red top milk, I don't have any issues. So for me, the last few months, I drink almond milk. There's almond milk. Again, you can have that and you can drink it with your tea or coffee. Or soya milk for people who are quite sensitive in terms of diet and nutrition. So try soya milk as well. And your yogurts as well, your probiotics, which are good for the gut. And again, always look for the ones that are lower in fat. and sugar. And then eat some beans, which are, again, they're very protein based. We have again, these are the things. Sierra Leone, one of the cheapest things is that they call it kosho beans, black eye beans, and we have it here. Abobo, we call it as well. So that is a good source of protein. Your fish, especially fish with bones, are a good source of protein. Your eggs, they're saying try and eat 2 meals a week that is made up of fish, that has 2 portions of fish, and one of them should be oily fish, such as salmon fish and mackerel. Now, I know in our community, if you go business, you not see salmon fish, they were that business, they not to business. So we do eat a lot of that. So just continue and make that a habit at home. That would be good. And egg as well. Egg is very good. So keep at that. What I tend to do when I want to avoid carbohydrates, I tend to replace it with 2 boiled eggs. If I have 2 boiled eggs for lunch, then I have my porridge in the morning. Then it means by the time I come home, all I want is something very light, such as like salads and maybe kippers or mackerel, and then I'm full. Or kippers and mackerel and mixed veg, and then I'm full. I'm very, very full. So it's very important to think about things like that. And also your choice of unsaturated oils or spreads. Like I said, look at your olive oils or your almond oil and all of that as well. And last but not the least, but very important, your fluid intake. How much fluid do you take? You have to take quite a number of fluid. The recommended is about 6 to 8 cups a day, which is at least a liter of fluid a day. Very important for you to have. And then balance that with exercise. Okay, we come back to exercise. You balance that with exercise. And what do we mean by exercise? Okay, exercise is not just running. You don't have to be running. Yes, exercise, you need something that will, you know, put your cardiovascular system under a bit of pressure and stress, so that it increases your circulatory system, and then things go up, flow, you know, like warm you up and everything. Now, if you cannot do that with running for one reason or another, you can go to the gym. You can go on the treadmill. You can go on the cycle. You can do brisk walk. You can do at least 10,000 steps a day. There's a lady at my workplace who, she's never been to the gym. All she does is 20,000 steps a day. And how she does that is she walks from her house to work, and then she goes round the streets of our workplace 3 times. And then she's based at reception. When she's not answering phones, she does not sit down. She's walking around the reception. It's amazing. It's amazing to see how much weight that woman has lost. She said, I have not changed my diet. Of course, I eat things in moderation, but it's just this walking that has made her lose so much. One of my sisters who mentioned there, get enough few bus stops before you get to your workplace and walk. It makes a lot of difference to your health and well-being. So exercise is very important. And what are some of the benefits of exercise? Some of the benefits of exercise, it actually improves your mood. It makes you become a lot happier. It actually helps with weight loss, of course, that is direct. It actually helps with your muscles and your bones. It strengthens them. It increases your energy level. It reduces your risk of chronic diseases like cardiac related problems, high blood pressure, and really, really keen and determined to start and carry on. Like they say, we all have to lead by example. There's no point me coming here and going on and saying to you, you must do this, you should do this, you should consider this and everything, and I'm a couch potato. It doesn't make sense. So we all have to motivate each other. And for me, coming here and talking to you is like I now owe an obligation. I have openly challenged myself that actually, if I'm telling some people to be fit and well, what am I doing? So I'm constantly having, fights with my husband to say, you shouldn't be doing this, you must not do this, this is not good example, how would people think? I'm going out there, I'm saying this and that, and then I've got a husband that does this and that, so I'm always on that case because I'm somebody who really likes to lead by example, and of course it makes you sleep well, like I said. So, and it reduces pain, and people say, oh, how does it reduce pain? A lot of people who have back pain is because of muscular tightness around that area. So a bit of fluidity, a bit of movement might help. It might help with another chronic pain illness, which is called fibromyalgia. Now, I've heard a lot of people in our community saying, oh, I suffer from fibromyalgia. And it's one of those total body pain, chronic pain diseases that is really difficult to be diagnosed, and it's really difficult to find out what is really the cause of it. There's a lot of research that says something goes wrong in your central nervous system that communicates and sends message about pain that goes rogue, and so that's how people get fibromyalgia. Or sometimes it's chemical imbalance, that is why. But again, a lot of people who are doing gentle exercise with fibromyalgia have actually found it has helped them a lot, because this is a chronic pain problem that increases your sensitivity to pain. It increases fatigue, which is tiredness, muscle stiffness, difficulty sleeping, mental processes issues, headaches, and irritable bowel syndrome. So a lot of things that will come about that can be resolved. Sometimes they cannot totally be taken away. I'm not saying exercise is the answer to everything, but exercise makes a lot of difference. Did that lady, I don't know if that lady did come. So again, I'm just checking for comments. There are people watching, but no comments and all. So, okay. Health is wealth. Many thanks. Thank you for sharing your knowledge to people. Thank you, Mr. Kale. I'm very grateful, and I'm glad you're all, sparing your time to join me and watch what I'm doing. I'm deeply, deeply grateful and all. Who else has said anything here? I'm just looking to see what's there, but I couldn't see. Anyway, so those are some of the healthy things we need to think about, and those are some of the importance that we need to look at. Now, some of the tips I have for you. Please ask questions. Please comment, and otherwise it will feel dry and all. So some of the tips: swap soft drink. And some of these things is not just about us, the grown-ups. It's also about the children. We have to make sure we pay attention to the children as well. So think about swapping soft drinks for water and herbal tea. Now, they might not taste nice in the first place, but it does get better. I was one for not drinking water at all. But what I've done lately is I have got things like lemongrass and ginger cordial, and just a teeny drop just to alter the taste of the water. And then I'm now able to drink few glasses of water. And then my son, for some reason, is into herbal tea these days. He's only 16. He's into herbal tea. So we're having to buy lots of herbal tea, and we're all going with the flow and drinking it. And I must say, it does make a lot of difference. You drink things like chamomile tea, If you're someone who you find it difficult to go to sleep and wind down, drinking chamomile tea maybe an hour before you go to bed helps. Drinking green tea in the morning helps, you know. And then the other tip is eat no meat for at least 1 day a week. Eat no meat for at least 1 day a week. So again, this is what I was saying. You don't have to go in full force and stop everything, bam, bam, bam. It doesn't work like that. Your body will go into shock and your mind will go into shock. You have to train your mind, retrain your mind to say, you know what? You used to like the taste of meat, but now you're going to stop having meat. So I personally know I cannot get away from meat for completely. Maybe with time, but especially when I have sisters like Jariatu who makes one of the best roast beefs around town. I know if I go to an event and there's roast meat there from Jariatu, I will be tempted. So, but everything is in moderation and what you do and how you do it. So it's very important. Just take it little by little. So if you start this week, 1 week, say, okay, this week, 1 day this week, I'm not eating no meat. And then next week, you add it to 2 days. And then the following week, 3 days. By the time you realize it, you start doing a whole week of no meat, or 5 days of no meat and 2 days of meat and all of that. And then you see the difference, you know. And then ensure you replace this with vegetables. Make sure vegetables make up to 50% of your meal. Again, in Sierra Leone, we have fresh vegetables. A lot of our food is vegetables anyway. We have leafy food. We have all our plasasis. We have our potato leaf. We have our krin. We have our cassava leaf. We have our bitas. We have our sawa. We have our, what's the other thing? Bologi. We have all sorts. I can't even remember. They're all leafy food and they're vegetables. But it's how we prepare them that changes them completely. So it's about thinking how you prepare some of these food. For example, your cassava leaf. Is it worth cooking it with olive oil rather than palm oil? Is it worth not cooking it with red meat, cooking it with fish as well, etc. Swap cow milk for plant-based milk. For example, your soya milk or your almond milk and all of that. Eat whole fruits rather than juices, because some people say, oh well, then say make I eat fruit, I don't drink juice. No, the juice is processed and it contains less fiber, which is what you need for your gut. It contains less fiber and more sugar, which you don't really need. Yes, our body needs some sort of sugar, but most of these food have a lot of sugar that then takes us to a higher level than we should have in our body. You know, avoid processed meats such as, you know, the luncheon meats and all of that, because they're very high in salt and they can increase your risk of things like colon cancer. Yes, there's a lot of evidence of that. All these processed meat like this, spam and luncheon meat and all of that. So be mindful of that. And eating more lean protein, which you can find in your eggs, your fish, and your nuts. And if you are eating meat, let's say if you say, okay, once a week, I'm going to treat myself with meat. Try and get one that is fat-free. Get the butchers to take away all the fat. And if they can't, you do it yourself. You can take your time and do that and everything. But the bottom line is, all these good food are rich in calcium. They're rich in, you know, protein, all the different vitamins that your body need to prevent things like clots and all of that. So all your nuts are good. Eat, but don't eat them in excess. And your almond nuts, your peanuts, and your seeds as well. When they say seeds, they're talking about things like pumpkin seeds, which again we have in Sierra Leone, your sesame seeds, and your calcium rich food such as your broccoli, your cauliflower, your cabbage, your fish with bones, and many of the cereals that do not have sugar. Not the Frosties, that is full of sugar. So be very, very mindful and everything. So what did Mabinti say? Mabinti said, I parked halfway to the station and walked to the station to and from work, which is about a mile and a half each. Wow. Saves car, park money, and is good for my health. Sure does. And Auntie Sue says, thanks, herbal tea. It is very refreshing. Hello, Wilfonette. Hello, Crimelda. Yes, keep moving. Well, but in gentry, indeed, your health is your wealth. So we have to remember these things. Is very, very important. So the program is about to come to an end, believe it or not. Today is not a long one. So if you do have any questions, please phone in 07946 141 369. Please phone in and ask or make comments as usual. Very much appreciated, because I now want us to move on to a self-assessment, a well-being self-assessment. That is what I want us to move on to. Let's self-assess ourselves. I don't know if we're going to have time to be able to type some of these questions as we go along, just so people can go back to them and ask themselves. Now, this I got from a psychological institute based in America. It's called the Berkeley Wellbeing Institute quiz. It's a quiz for you to check yourself to see how generally your well-being is doing, and whether you could say yes to a lot of these questions and confidently say yes to a lot of these questions. We'll go through them one by one, and then we'll discuss them if necessary. The first one is, I know how to maintain my happiness. Do you know how to maintain your happiness? Let me see some likes or some loves if you, the listeners, know how to maintain your happiness. Do you know how to maintain your happiness? And what do you understand by that, maintaining your happiness? What keeps you happy and how do you maintain that? For example, if you're someone wearing, just seeing £1,000 in your bank account as a balance every month is what makes you happy. How do you maintain that? Are you able to maintain that? Are you able to maintain a savings of £1,000 every month in your bank account, which is what makes you happy? And then the second one is, I believe that I can learn skills to increase my happiness. I believe that I can learn skills to increase my happiness. Again, I'll take us back to the savings of saving £1,000 in your bank account every month. You see that is what makes you happy, and by maintaining that, you are happy every day. And so how do you believe that you can learn skills to increase your happiness? Yes. How do you increase that £1,000 from £1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000, 3,000, up to the point where you become probably a millionaire or billionaire? Are you capable of learning the skills that you need, whether it's to go into business, whether it's to do micro credit, whatever you do to double up that income, which will then double up and maintain your happiness? And then the other question is, I have a good work-life balance. Now, I laugh about this because I don't know where we would all tick the box for this one. I have a good work-life balance, which basically means it might not be 50-50 in terms of the time and energy you spend at work is the same in terms of your life outside work. And this can mean anything like going out, socializing, spending time with your family, and having that balance. So that's a very, very tricky question for a lot of us. Do we have a good work-life balance? Or do you work? Are you one of those people where you do 18 hours a day and work, and but then you go out maybe once a month? No, that is not a good work-life balance. Are you somebody who does 18 hours 3 days a week and then rest and then party the weekend? Yes, maybe you've got a bit of balance there. So it's about thinking about such things. The next question is, I feel good about yourself. Do you feel good about yourself, my brother? Do you feel good?
Right now, yeah.
Yes, he says he feels good about himself.
Right now.
And you know why he feels good about himself?
I'm feeling myself, actually.
He's been exercising, that's why. That's why he feels good about himself. So, do I feel good about myself right now? No.
Why not?
I don't feel good about myself because I think there are things I should be doing that I'm not doing. For example, exercise. So, I don't feel good about myself. It doesn't mean I hate myself, but I think I should do a bit more because I know how I was feeling when I was exercising. So I don't feel good about myself right now. It's not to do with my body weight or anything. It's just, I think physically, I don't feel I'm there and I need to be there. So I am doing something about that. So the next question is, do you think positively? Are you someone who focuses on the negativity of anything that happens to you, or do you think positively? Do you think positively? Ask yourself that. When you wake up in the morning, do you think positively? If you wake up in the morning and you go on Facebook and you post a post and someone doesn't like it, click like. What thought comes to your mind? Do you then think, oh, this person doesn't like me, which is the negative thought? Or do you just not think about it and just say, oh, I've got 10 likes, that's good, and then move on, rather than looking and making sure you're eye marking those who did not like it and having issues with them? So, do you think positively about yourself? That's very important, and about others as well. And then the next question is, I can calm myself down after an upsetting experience. I can calm myself down after an upsetting experience. Can you calm yourself down after you've been pissed off? For example, today, I went to, after work, I rushed to the dry cleaners because then I was making sure I got home. I rushed home because I forgot to buy sweets for trick or treat. And then my daughter called me and kind of nicely told me off. So I then had to, buy these sweets, drop it off at home, then go back to pick up, the boss's stuff from the dry cleaners, the master of the house, his shirts from the dry cleaners, because he said to me this morning, I'm running low on my shirts. I'm like, yes, sir. So I had to run to go get that. And so during that process, I was feeling already a bit stressed. And then, as I was walking to my car, this lady and this young boy, about 6 or 7 years old, this boy, they were carrying lots of bags. And then they dropped something. The boy dropped something, a chicken and chips box. So I said I said, excuse me, you've dropped something. And then the lady said to me, oh, I told him to drop it. And I, excuse me? I said, that's not on. I said, that is so not on. I said, you're messing up the place, the environment. Oh my God. And then she went into one, and I was not about to let go for some reason. I just then kicked off as well. I'm like, I'm blaming whatever, pay my council tax. I have right. This is a public place. How dare you? You're not teaching this child any good example, etc., etc. So we went on and on and on. And then I went into my car. She went to the cash machine. But then when I got into my car, I drove off. I gave him one good one. because I'll not be planned for left for me. I lick again. So, but then I was able to calm myself down after that. I didn't carry on in that mood and got home and then, you know, spoil everybody's evening. I was able to calm myself after an upsetting experience, because it was upsetting. This is me nicely saying, oh, you've dropped something, and then realizing that, oh, it was rubbish, and then the way she just was carelessly just walking away from trash. And then we wonder why the foxes are coming out of the bushes into the town. These are some of the reasons why the foxes are coming out of the bushes into the town. When they start eating children, then people will start thinking twice. So, but I was able to calm myself down. So the question again is, can you calm yourself down after an upsetting experience? Because if you can't, then think about it. It's very serious. You need to be able to go up and down and get yourself to a good level. Now, and so the next question is, I stay present in every moment. Do you stay present in every moment? Do you stay present in every moment? When they mean you stay present in every moment, it's about your concentration level. So, for example, I'm here doing this program, and I should be thinking about what am I supposed to be saying, or what I should be saying to you all about health and well-being and fitness. So I have to be here, not just physically, but mentally. I have to be here. I have to stay present in this moment. However, if I'm here and I'm supposed to be talking about health and well-being, and I'm thinking, oh, I need to pay that bill tomorrow. Oh, I don't miss that deadline. Hey God, that picky high get for go school tomorrow, and this and that and that. Then I am not staying present in the moment. It means my brain is overactive. It's working 100 miles per minute. So that is what it means. You're not staying present. If you're having to constantly not stay present in the moment, then there's something wrong. But if you're struggling, there's so many things you can do. You can go online. There's these 5 minutes activities called mindfulness. Mindfulness, they're very short, kind of meditation kind of things that actually brings you into the moment, and you just relax and you think about it. Or also, a lot of people on their phones, you can have these calming sounds that you could just put on and relax and just be present in the moment. It teaches you, you have to train your brain. And I know somebody who does a lot of meditation is it Madonna that does a lot of meditation, and Tina Turner as well. Tina Turner was somebody, in terms of all the domestic violence she went through with her first husband, Ike Turner. One of the ways she could manage herself and get over it was doing a lot of meditations of sorts. So you have to learn how to stay present in the moment, in every moment. And then the next question is, I know what matters most to me. Do you know what matters most to you? A lot of people say, oh yeah, I know what matters most to you. But ask yourself, what matters most to you? Is it your husband? Is it your status in the community? Is it the points you score? Is it how many posts you put on Facebook? Is it how many likes you get? Is it how many comments? Is it your children? Is it your successes? Your goals? Your achievements? What matters most to you? Think about it. Think about it and see what you can do about that. And then the next question is, I voluntarily engage in behavior to benefit others. I voluntarily engage in behavior to benefit others, not to please others. Listen to this carefully, and when you read it, make sure you understand it. to benefit you. Voluntarily engage in activities to please others or behavior to please others. For example, what myself and DJ Little and DJ Ish and Olivette Teen Talks and Pastor Weber and the Sheiks, what all of us that come on to Diaspora Voices here and do, and all the other people who are behind the scene like IB Banks that are supportive and everything, we are all engaging ourselves in behaviors that benefits other people, you, our community. And for that, that's for me, again, it takes me to that question, what makes me happy? For me, that is what makes me happy. And coming here almost every Thursday maintains that happiness. So think about what you voluntarily do, not something you do because you got a hidden agenda. Something you voluntarily do in terms of your behavior that benefits others, not pleases others, but benefits others. There's a big difference. And then the other question is, I have meaningful relationship with others. I have meaningful relationship with others. Meaningful in inverted comma. Now, we all have relationships with one another. Just like you have your acquaintances, you have your friends, you have your best friends, you have your sister friends, and all kind of boyfriends and all sorts that are out there now. But are they meaningful relationship? Do you have meaningful relationship where are there people you can call and have a serious conversation with? You can, they're a shoulder for you to cry on, or are you someone who is a shoulder to cry on? Are you someone who genuinely cares about the other person? Are you someone, if someone is sad, you feel sad for them, you try and support them? Or are you someone who is always happy at other person's demise? And I think we have a lot of that in our community, where people, they enjoy sharing and distributing and celebrating other people's misfortunes or detriments or demise. Ask yourself sometimes, how do I feel, or how would I feel if it was me? I believe in this saying that says, don't judge me until you've walked a mile in my shoes. Do not judge me until you've walked a mile in my shoes. So think about this. Do you have meaningful relationship with others? My philosophy is very simple. If I am not benefiting anything from you of sort, as in knowledge, support, wisdom, honesty, integrity, then you are not worth having a relationship with. So it's very important to have principles. It's very important to live by those principles. It's very important to have boundaries. And then the next one is, I eat foods that support both my body and my mind. Again, we've talked a lot about what we eat. We say we cannot control everything that happens, but we can control what we put in our body. So everything that goes into our body is our responsibility. If you drink 5 glasses of wine, nobody forced you to drink 5 glasses of wine. It doesn't matter if somebody bought it for you and put it in front of you. You have to physically pour it, or even if they poured it for you, you have to physically lift that glass, open your mouth, and gulp it. So you are responsible. You're the one who is responsible to say, okay, I'm going to eat only 5 spoons of rice and cassava leaf rather than a bowl of rice and cassava leaf. You're the one who is responsible to say, you know what, rather than eating a whole bowl of fufu and okra soup, I'm going to eat a handful. and I'll be fine, and drink plenty of water. So it's very, very important to think about your body and your mind. And in terms of your mind, it's up to you what you fill your mind with. And that takes us back to thinking positively. If you think positively, it clears up your mind. But if you're someone who is very negative, then your mind will be very overactive unnecessarily. And then the next question is, are you happy? Ask yourself, are you happy? Are you happy? And then last but not the least is, are you really ready to put in the effort to increase your happiness? Are you happy? Are you really ready to put in the effort to increase your happiness? Do you know how to maintain your happiness? Do you believe you can learn skills to increase your happiness? Do you have a good work balance? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you think positively? Do you calm yourself down after an upsetting event? Do you stay present in every moment? Do you know what matters to you? Do you voluntarily engage in behavior to benefit others? Do you have meaningful relationships with others? So please, ladies and gentlemen, please think about some of these questions. They're not out to catch you, but it's actually to get you to think about things in life and how you deal with certain things and certain issues, which in return will improve your health and well-being. Because like I said earlier on, your health and well-being is your complete and emotional and physical being, which involves not just your physical, but your mental and social well-being. So if you're someone who spends half of your time fighting with others, then it's going to have a direct impact on your physical and mental well-being. If you're someone all the time what you do is eat all the saturated fat in the world and all the carbohydrates, then guess what? It's going to lead you to possible obesity. It's going to probably lead you to diabetes. It's going to probably lead you to heart disease. And it's going to affect your children if you have them, or your loved ones. And it's probably going to lead you to a premature death or chronic illness. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think, except if you've got any questions, I'll see if there's any comments, and we will be ending the show now. So again, I'll just go over some of the top tips. Some of the top tips to help you with balanced diet is eat at least 5 portions of fruit or veg a day. Base your meals on potato. Again, for example, potato, rather than having the white potato, eat the red potato, the sweet potato. Eat bread, but rather than having the white bread, eat wholemeal bread with seeds. Eat rice, pasta, but rather than having rice, white rice and white pasta, have wholemeal brown pasta. And because we need carbohydrates. All these things that we say are bad for you, they're only bad for you if you do them in excess. If you do them in moderation and within limits, they're good for you. They've got a role to play. Eat some dairy products, such as your soya drinks or yogurts that are low in fat and sugar. Eat your proteins, such as your beans, your fish, your eggs, and aim to eat like 2 portions of fish every week, and one of them being an oily fish, such as mackerel or salmon. Try and use unsaturated fat like oils or spreads such as olive oil, your almond oil, and flora, those kind of things. Drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water because it's very important for you. Swap soft drinks for water and drink herbal tea. Eat no meat for at least 1 day a week. Ensure that vegetables make 50% of each meal. Swap cow's milk for plant-based milk. Like I said earlier on, your soya milk, your almond milk. And eat a whole fruit rather than fruit juice because that has more fiber. Avoid your processed meats such as your luncheon meats, your spam and corned beef and all of that because they're full of salt, and there is a lot of research that says that it actually increases the risk of bowel cancer. Eat more lean protein, like I said earlier on. Eat a lot of nuts. It's very, very important for you. Exercise regularly in different shapes and form. Try and walk if you can. Try and run if you can. Try and go to the gym if you can. You can start off by pacing yourself little and little. It helps because having a healthy diet and exercising regularly can actually make you happier, can help with weight loss, can strengthen your muscles and bones, can increase your energy levels, can reduce your risk of chronic illnesses, can help with the health of your skin, can help with the health of your brain and your memory. It helps with relaxation and you can sleep better. It can reduce pain such as back pain and fibromyalgia. But most importantly, it can actually improve your sex life. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there. But as a reminder, and to say thank you to everyone who signed up for the No Meat, Red Meat Pledge campaign this October. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. It's been very inspiring. I'm happy you've learned one or two things and you've benefited from it. Even if it's just one thing you've benefited, it's a difference, it's an improvement. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep going on. I heard somebody said to me today, for this whole month, I've taken carbohydrates off, no carbs diet. So again, doing what you can at your own pace, no pressure. So I want to thank you all for that. And I want to remind us all that the countdown starts, the regular monthly fitness, community fitness support and encouragement this Saturday, the 2nd of November. And it's going to be the first Saturday of every month. And it's only 1 hour of your time. It starts at 10. It finishes at 11 in Borges Park in Southeast London, Southwark. And it's by the Sports Centre, which is on Coburg Road, Keats Street. And try and come 10 minutes at least before time. If you do have a yoga mat, come with it. If you don't and you want to buy one, they are in Sports Direct, which is off Old Kent Road, or you can buy them on Amazon. It's still not late. You can order it tonight with what's the thing called, Amazon Prime. You can get it delivered by tomorrow, and it's really for you to use because it's winter now. The ground will be wet. That is why our fitness instructor Vamba Kone has suggested people come with their yoga mats because he wants us to do stretches, and some of them you have to go flat on the ground, and so it's good for you to have that to lay on because the floor will be wet as it's winter. So thank you very much. I hope it's been an educative one, And thank you for the auntie that called. I don't know if she ever managed to join in. Yes, very much appreciated. And please keep in touch and stay in touch. And I'm very, very pleased that you are watching and you find it very helpful. And those are the things for me that makes me happy. And in order for me to maintain that happiness, I will continue to do these educational programs, either via Diaspora Voices or by YouTube, and also in gatherings where people are willing to listen and take on board some of these health advices and tips. So last but not the least, we have also got Countdown, their Volume 7 Catch Feelings show. Catch Feelings. You know then DJ the number now. Then solo go Catch Feelings. This is to do with the music. Where they want go lambast we with now. Let we enjoy we safe. So this year they've decided to take us to a venue rather than a nightclub, because over the years a lot of their fans and a lot of their regular attendees are not very keen on nightclubs. So they're taking us to a venue in Croydon. And so on the 14th of December, we will be there to catch feeling by dancing, sharing love, having meaningful relationships, increasing our activity level, because you dance, it means you increase your activity level, you burn some calories, you go home, you sleep better, and then in the morning you have a good mental state. So have a lovely weekend, everyone. Whatever you're doing this weekend, hope you find time to enjoy yourself and relax and be around your loved ones. And I hope to see you next week again on Thursday, which is probably when we will talk about prostate cancer, because tomorrow is the 1st of November, and November is also Movember, and it's the Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and it's also the Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Lots of interesting topics coming up this November. I'm actually struggling with time, and I just want to remind people that this year actually, I did the C Word conference, and so a lot of people said, I didn't know the date, you should remind us sooner. So soon there will be a save the date flyer that will be coming out, that I will send through my broadcast list, that I'll keep tagging people on Facebook, sending it to their messenger. But next year, save the date, March the 7th, 2020. It's going to be a whole day program. We'll probably start about 11 and finish about 5, 6, and then we can have an after party till about 9, and then everybody will go home feeling educated, but at the same time have some fun. So we love you all. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend once more, and I'll see you next week, or I'll see you around this weekend when we mingle and jingle. Ta-ta.
Slim Nation. P-Banks, we make up.
Shabba Mahmoud, nothing them tell me, but the girl no go kill man. Shine never, why your sun no go shine man. And I go carry my money, carry my woman. Yeah, take you make me enjoy, take you make me go follow, take you make me enjoy, take you make me go follow. Oh my baby, give you everything when you mention. Drop everything at you junction. Me want post a picture, give me caption, baby. Oh my baby, find that thing, girl, always start. Shut that, put it to the best line. Give me all the girl, always start. Night just have a collaboration. This is a big celebration. Now I'm the man that they mention. Girl, then they went to my new song.
Nothing down tell me, body girl no go kill man. Shine lover, why your sun no go shine man. And I go carry my money, carry my woman. Yeah, take you make me enjoy. Take you make me go follow. Take you make me enjoy. Take you make me go follow. Shoko, when you give me baby, I'm in from day one. Yeah, the highness when you give me girl, I know that you're the one. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, oh yeah man, oh man, oh yeah man. Make me give you love, give you proper. Make up be the bread for your butter. Cereal your own stuff that your butter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nothing down tell me, body girl no go kill man. Shine lover, why your sun no go shine man. And I go carry my money, carry my woman. Yeah, take you make me enjoy. Take you make me go follow. Take you make me enjoy. Take you make me go follow. Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. Only you they boss me great. No other girl can chase. Bad man enough me to wait. Baby girl don't be late. Anything but the true cat not for me and you. Me and you, yeah. Me cast me out, not for me and you. Baby you, yeah. That's how we want to go, girl, now me and you. You, nothing down tell me, body girl no go kill man. Shine lover, why your sun no go shine man. And I go carry my money, carry my woman. Yeah, I'm in the mix.
Stone and Chakadi must punish on me remix. Now all people, I wanna listen this. Step up my youth.
Many girls and they're on here, but none of them just like you. When God was creating you, I know that He never made two. Oh yeah, you're beautiful, oh, oh. And girl, I like your smile. Your dimples they kill me, oh. Oh yeah, just my time. Oh yeah, who say you come from? Who say you there? Me I dey London, I come and play. I gon' put you on the plane, girl. You know what day? Because I come from the runway. Because you just got time I bring no way, my baby. You didn't make my heart sing for you, my baby. And nobody gon' ever take your place, my baby. You know my beautiful queen, and I gon' give you everything, oh yeah. Ga. Love the way you do. Love the way you move. Make I want you. I say I'm tempted to touch. I say your body too much. Tease me, baby.
This is the remix. Woman you fine, happy be mine out like the sunshine. Specially designed, 35 to life into the time. Lock me in a prison with your loving is a crime. Woman you fine, happy be mine out like the sunshine. Specially designed.
Miss murder she wrote, na.
Lock me in a prison with your loving is a crime. Locking she lock it me, yeah, drop out of the socket. Scream, can't keep me on in a me fucking it. Mad, them a send for straight jacket. Must stop it because me love it. Must stop it because you got it. Level. Take it on the level, yes, she moving and she grooving and she whining like a rebel. Galang, badness on a rebel. When that girl start bubble, prepare for some trouble.
I swear, you just got time I bring no way, my baby. You didn't make my heart sing for you, my baby. And nobody gon' ever take your place, my baby. You know my beautiful queen, and I gon' give you everything, oh yeah. Mercy. Girl, you too sexy. Don't whine it on me. Jump me real slowly. Oh time I bring no way, my baby. You didn't make my heart sing for you, my baby. And nobody gon' ever take your place, my baby. You know my beautiful queen, and I gon' give you everything.
Like a money, feel like a money, girl. Put it like a money,
Feel like a money, babe.
feel like a money, feel like a money, girl. Put it like a money,
Feel like a dollar, babe.
feel like a money, feel like a money, girl. Put it like a money,
Feel like a money, babe.
feel like a money, girl. Put it like a money.
Feel like a dollar, babe.
If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems. If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wills for sure got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wills for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
Famous to all the baby where them woke me at, where don't make me feel let's say I'm not man enough, I no get nothing for offer. To all me party when look down on me, where don't make me feel let's say my life no good become something, yeah. And they walked away. All the people who promise for help me, they say come office today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. The story not just the same, but I refuse to give up. I kept on hoping, I kept believing. Now everything don't change.
Scamadol, no to food for it. Alcohol, no to juice. Diazepam, now for sleep. If jamba no fit you, no smoke am.
Exclusive from Enzo Entertainment.
I say I want a kind of black man. I say na Kems on a shop man. Master planner black man. I say na role model black man. The man behind me success. So well if you see me at the project.
Man if he poor woman meet up then go fire. Kems on Entertainment. Man if he poor and poor meet up then go burn poor. Money me na swag. Money is a. Money me na swag.